Hi there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to be going over crop circles. It's quite a strange phenomenon, and so many people over the entire globe are aware of this phenomenon. There are countless books out there, videos, documentaries, and I want to kind of in this video summarize some key points that we need to remember in regards to crop circles. There are a lot of people, this is the first thing we want to note, out in the world that are artists that feel divinely inspired and they create crop circle art. And they do this with wooden boards and ropes, okay? And that does not in any way disregard the subject of crop circles and orbs of light that are associated with them. Not in any way does it disregard. If people's mind mentality does not seem up to the level of par of accepting this reality, which is outside of the mainstream box or cube that has been portrayed for us to live our lives in, then people can step back to the two people that came forward in the 80s or whatever that said they made all the crop circles. And if you believe that two people made all the crop circles on the globe with wooden planks and pillars, then you are allowed to do that, and your free will is entitled to you. And go on ahead, I won't be mad at you for thinking otherwise. But I would like to try to bring to your attention the case of bent nodes. And when there are bent nodes, these are in the genuine crop circles, which many crop circles do not have the bent nodes. Still beautiful, great pieces of art, but not genuinely made by, like, energy beings. Because I'm sure if you've done your research thoroughly, you'll be aware that there's, like, these orbs of light that are often associated with the crop circle formations. There's video footage of them and being at the sites, countless video footage of this, as well as even just people on YouTube, like, when they're doing like discussions, like especially like deep, heavy spiritual discussions, orbs can be associated with the environment because they're always around us, constantly. Like the universe which we're born into is teeming with life, and I don't. Sorry, my ear just started like intensely ringing, but it is teeming with life at all moments, and it is not just in the mosses and the plants and the animals. Like when you're in the forest, it's the rocks, it's the air, it's the water, it's everything around you, it's the breeze, it's the wind. Everything is organic in nature. We are in an organic reality, and through astrology and study of nakshatras, it has helped me to discover that we're very linked to not only nature in its solid physical reality of where like the planets were at the time of your birth, but there's like a spiritual anchor that is created in the etheric dimension where these planets have metaphysical or like extra-physical, like extra-dimensional attributes, which really can, if you want to translate that into a more scientific demeanor, different vibratory frequencies of the planets or celestial bodies, depending on their placements and in the time of the year, because I go more by Western astrology. So it all starts after the spring equinox with Aries, at like March 20th or 21st, depending on the year. And from there, it's divided. Now, these give rise to different psychological traits. And not just psychological traits, but your soul core itself. And with this, it gives your own lens to the world. So we all perceive it differently. But we also want to understand that everyone sees it without judgment. Like, you do not want to judge other people for being in, like, there is principalities that we fight in this world that are in, like, this etheric dimension, and they're really thought forms, and it's your everyday thought forms that, make up a part of the collective, and it all meshes together, and don't think that just your thoughts have no effect on the world, and don't think that you're disconnected, because we're all like little gears in this clock, and every single one of them is interconnected to the other. So, just like a small ripple in an ocean, it can create a tidal wave. with like-minded opinions that are out there. And these energy beings are around us all the time. Like, they are here to give us guidance, and they're basically your higher self. Like, there are other fragments out there when it comes to, like, our ancestral heritage, and like through our timelines and our incarnations, but you have to remember that there is always your higher self, which is you. It is your core, and it is always with you no matter what. If people who are like channeling beings that are outside of themselves for information can do that, but know that your higher self is probably the best, well, it is the best source for you to try to channel, because do not allow other external sources to cloud your judgment. And if you try to channel beings, like even if they're like alien or like from the Pleiades or whatever, know that those are energies that are external from you. And higher intelligence often takes advantage of lower intelligence, much like in our world today. Like with war and oil, none of that is evil. It is simply higher intelligence taking advantage of lower intelligence. You can choose to look at it in good or bad, or in like, evil and like heaven and all that, but that dichotomy or duality is created within your own mind, when the ultimate truth of the matter is that higher intelligence takes advantage of lower intelligence. This is something that can be seen all throughout nature, and people really do like to think of ourselves as being at the top of this, but we have to remember that there are other dimensions out there, and that there are these beings, and that they are constantly trying to aid us. And your inner self, or your higher inner guide, I'm going to rank as number 1, and that is the one. I don't want you to be trying to contact my guides to help you. Contact your guides. They understand you. They've been with you since your birth. Like, they are you. They're your higher selves, and they know your life experience. So they will give you advice best suited for you. But if you're doing meditation or prayer to like UFOs, or trying to do summoning or any of that stuff, know that you should connect to your higher self, or your inner self, your core, your spiritual soul, before trying to like reach out. And if you do try to reach out, create a bubble that is like, even if you are trying to like have some kind of presence, know that it is separate than you, and that there is no binding process, or like, because there are like energy leeches out there, and they can attach to your aura and like bring you down. So that's why you have to use your inner guidance from your higher self to try to block them out. And yeah, I hope that this video has been informative and helpful. Please like it and share it and do all that fun stuff, and let me know in the comments below what you think about all that bent nodes and the radiation signatures and stuff that are found in the crop circles. We try to take things that are very, very spiritual or metaphysical, meaning like not physical in nature, and transcribe them into scientific physical means, and it's not really possible to do so, because it's a spiritual phenomenon. That's really what it is. Life is spiritual, and there is a reality that, like a paintbrush that keeps being like, like just like Alice in Wonderland, she's painting the roses red, she's painting the roses red, she's painting the roses red. But they're not red, they're white. Well, that's like, we live in this reality that is, every moment is sacred and special and spiritual in essence. Every moment. It's when we live in this like hard physical world where we 9 to 5 and through the system with television, which drains our imagination, that when your imagination is so drained, you have nothing to fall back on except for the reality which is spoon-fed to you on the television. And when most people are so tired from their day doing the 9 to 5, then they fall prey to that. But try to, deplug from the system and use your own imagination, and realize that like we all are here co-creating the future, and the people who own the mainstream media really are not going to be providing the information like this. Like, they're going to tell you that 2 people with boards have made all the crop circles all over the planet. Even though if you do your research into this, lots of the royal families were actually interested in crop circles and studied them, like even Princess Diana, if you do a Google search of that. And then she died, so. But I don't know what is behind that, but I do know that she was interested in crop circles, and there was articles even printed in newspapers that showed such. So, yeah, it's a magical, mystical phenomenon, and it helps to connect us to nature and constantly inspire our curiosity for nature. And as long as we have curiosity, then we have growth, because we're, just like the plants, like they grow towards the sun in a physical way to our eyes. But in a spiritual sense, we are growing towards the sun and constantly raising our vibratory frequencies to higher levels of understanding. So, mwah, and I'll see you in my next one.